What's going on, people? Ryan Williams here, back with another video, of course. Almost said Ryan Williams here, see? Of course, we're recording for another edition of Socially Outcasted. Of course, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Of course, hit the link in the bottom of the description if you want to check out the Arsenal channel, of course, Ryan Williams AFC. Glad we got that out of the way. So, of course, let's recap. Of course, we got dreams. We talked about weed. We talked about the love life experiences and special someone knows who they are about. And now we're going to talk about school. Now, school hasn't exactly been one of my greatest achievements. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've got the best qualifications because I don't. But at the end of the day, I grew up, had a couple jobs, working, etc. Do you know what I mean? So, it doesn't matter. But I tell you what does matter. That's up here. Now, I remember in school, like I said to you earlier in the intro, like, you know, I wasn't exactly the most lovable character. A lot of times I was misunderstood. A lot of times I felt, you know, I wasn't really myself. Didn't really know how to portray myself because I always felt that, you know, let's face it, I wasn't very good at making friends. Sometimes I'd say, yeah, I am, you know, very talkative, you know, depending on what you're talking about, you know, I'm just that random guy. I'll just come up and pop up in a conversation, be like, yeah, I know about that. You know what I mean? And then that's just me, innit? Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit off the rails, you know what I mean? But that's just genuinely me. I don't like to be boring. I hate being patronizing sometimes. Well, I can come across it. But I'm just a likable person. Some people say, some people disagree. I mean, some people couldn't stand the shit out of me. I don't know why. Personally, I didn't give a shit. But at some points, I really did give a shit because, listen, I'll tell you right now, like, I ain't going to act and, you know, be like, oh, I never was bullied. Yeah, I was bullied. I was bullied, you know, and for reasons I don't actually know. You know what I mean? And personally, I couldn't give a shit now. But when you think about it, it did generally affect me moving forward because I was always concerned about how people viewed me. You know what I mean? And, you know, people used to just disrespect me a lot. And I wasn't one of these people that would stand up for themselves a lot of the times. Because, you know, generally when you know certain people and you only know a select few, and depending on if you want to be bothered to even bring people, all that shit. Do you know what I mean? It just wasn't needed. It wasn't necessary bringing in other people in general. If you know certain people, you know certain people, etc. But listen, I just took the beatings as a man and just got off my school life. I remembered, oh God, I remember, what year is it? I'll tell you the most embarrassing one. I remember in year 9, I'm going to say. I remember in year 9, literally, and I brought it upon myself, you know what I mean? I remember in year 9, I must have ate just like a packet of crisps with cottage cheese and onion. My favourite. And literally, like, I was just boxing them down as the chubby kid I was. And then literally, I just remember I made a burp mid someone talking conversation, and I had a little nickname back then called Smooth, and then I remember some girl literally just like stinking smooth, etc. And then literally it was just a joke, and you know, I laughed about it. I thought it was funny, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You laugh along with the joke. Hey, it's funny. But I tell you what wasn't really funny was later on a lot of people took that joke and started to take it a little bit too far. I mean, in terms of people trying to make songs, I remember 2 girls in particular. Funny enough, I bumped into one of them in recent years, but I don't have any hate or resentment to them. That was school, you know what I mean? We were young, dumb and stupid. It is what it is. But that did affect me a lot because a lot of people were taking a piss out of me, trying to disrespect me, my hygiene, etc. And I remember one kid that really pissed me off in school tried to really disrespect me and tried to bring in a fucking toothbrush. I literally lost my shit that day. And boy, he suffered the consequences big time. And listen, I'll tell you right now, that was probably one of the most uncomfortable feelings in school, when you made one little burp and then everyone just plays off it. It was fucking ridiculous, I'll tell you about that. And did I really recover from that? Not really. Do you know what I mean? It stuck, and it stuck with me till the end of school. And the thing that used to annoy me about it was just a fucking burp, and people just went on and on and on. It was like, did you want me to leave the school or something? Like, emotionally, it got to me. Like, I didn't want sitting there crying in the corner or none of that shit. But it fucked with me really, really bad. Because people who I generally thought were my friends at the time, some people still didn't want to fuck with me after that. It was like a popularity contest. It was to me, it was ridiculous. Like, my brain levels at that point were higher in terms of how people should respect you, if your friends are really there for you or not. Not none of this popularity contest bullshit that you see in movies or, you know, in general. Like, you see a lot of people just follow the crowd. And funny enough, I was one of those people that did follow the crowd. And then until I got put in a spotlight for something that was just a fucking small little thing, honestly, it was pathetic. It really fucked me over in school, I have to say. Girls that I was interested seemed less interested. Again, like I said, people that I thought were my friends generally turned on me. And yeah, man, I tell you, it really, really fucked with me a lot. Do you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Some people, we grow, we move on from it. And like I said, it was just one of those things I had to just put up on my shoulders. I can remember another situation where, bloody hell, so embarrassing. I remember I had a crush on one of these girls in school, and literally, she didn't exactly have a good reputation. But little did I know at the time anyways. Do you know what I mean? And I remember there was like two guys, and obviously they didn't really think the same as I did. They just thought the girl was just nah. And I remember like literally being exposed to it. And in terms of me and one guy, literally we were arguing over the girl. I remember it was in maths class, and we were like, okay, we'll see it. We'll see who she says yes to, etc. So by then, what was it? Break time. By then, break time, I didn't even see the girl. The guy's already made his move, and like the two guys I originally said earlier, like they had their 2 cents, and at the time we were all right. Do you know what I mean? We would talk, etc. And then, you know, once they heard about who I was interested in, and the girl came round, and then she just said, what did she say? I think she said she was flattered, but obviously the answer is no in that. So obviously rejection at that time, as a, you know, young kid, you kind of thought, shit, is what it is. Do you know what I mean? And hey, there was a lot of girls I was interested at that time. Do you know what I mean? The previous girl in the video, who I'm funnily enough still interested in now, you know, it is what it is. Many guys had your options back then. Do you know what I mean? And let's face it, that girl who I'm still interested in now was in a relationship at that time. So I had to move on, as you do. Do you know what I mean? So back to the story. Yeah, when those guys heard it, they were like, no, fuck off. all that shit. Again, I felt really, really low in morale and anything. And again, I didn't make a lot of friends at school. Do you know what I mean? And that day, I just said to myself, well, it is what it is. And another situation where I remember one guy that I'm actually cool with now. I remember he was dating one girl, and he came from another school. I didn't know him properly or anything, right? All I knew is we was dating one girl at this school. Now, me and this girl were cool. We were just friends. Nothing more, nothing less. She was a good-looking girl, but personally, I didn't think nothing would happen between me and her. That's just how my mentality was at that time. So someone decided to spread a rumor about, oh, I wanted her, this, that, and the third. And I was just like, no, we're just cool. And of course, when her boyfriend just joins the school, and funnily enough, earlier that day, you introduce yourself, because when the head of your year is all walking around the school, and me being me, I'm just a nice general guy. I'm all like, hi, my name's Ryan, etc. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was like, oh, okay, cool, how you doing? Do you know what I mean? That was it. Break time come, and then obviously that rumor got about. The girl was kind of like shooken back, like, what? I didn't even know he liked me like that. And I'm like, nah, it's not like that at all. And then you just got these dickheads that just like to support the cause and everything. And again, another heated situation. The guy's there. He's like, let me chat to you. I'm like, bro, I don't even want to talk. I just walked off. Do you know what I mean? Because the last thing, remember, I don't know this guy from Adam, right? Earlier that day, I introduced myself to him, etc. And again, the funny thing is, some idiot spreading a nasty rumor, which wasn't true. And again, I didn't even know that guy was going to either try to fight me, try to start trouble, etc. because I don't know him. Do you know what I mean? So how that ended was kind of funny, because in the end, me and the guy just, we didn't really talk after that. Until a few years later, after him and the girl split and whatever. But during that time, it was just dumb. And then I had another guy who, at the time, was my friend, who betrayed me, and, pick a side, innit? And then he started to trouble me. And I really didn't know what to do about that. So again, this kind of moves on into bullying as well. So again, boy, I didn't really have a good time at school, I'll tell you. I'll give you another situation where I remember one guy, like, in my class. I remember we had a drapesing match, and literally I tossed him. And look, it was just a drapesing match, you know what I mean? The guy was shorter than me, and that was it. And, we got into I wouldn't say a little scuffle after that, but nothing happened. We ducked, because in the area we was, teachers came and tried to bust it up. There's quite a few of us, literally. And I remember I must have lost his earring or something like that. And obviously, at the time, all naive and that, I'm just like, oh shit, my bad, like, whatever, innit? So I even went back to the spot to look for it. But like a donut, I put my bag down and shit, and my bag was gone. And then the school building, well, part of the school was being built, and some idiots decided to dash my bag over that fence. I didn't know who it was. I found out later who that was. And yeah, they served their comeuppance. But at the end of the day, later on, I left my bus pass was in there. Everything, man. I said bus pass. That's how long ago, you know what I'm saying? So all that was in the bag. And literally, I didn't know what to do. How am I going to get home, etc. And then the teacher was like, all right, cool, listen, I'll give you some change to get home. Cool. Don't think this skanky motherfucker try to ask for the change the next day, I'm thinking, what the fuck? So you what? Fuck all that shit. That motherfucker still didn't get paid to this day. Anyways, back to the story. The caretaker found my bag, 2 days later? Do you know what I mean? He said he found it. One of the construction workers found the bag, and, he gave it into the school, etc. Found my diary and that, knew it was me. So that was cool. And then the guy that said, obviously I had a dressing match with, said, oh, I'll pay you for the damage that I caused. So me being in my head, all right, cool. Little did I know, I went to one school, and then I had at least about four or five guys chasing me. Guy tried to offer me out for another fight. Of course, he felt embarrassed after what happened. And I'm like, look, I ain't even trying to fight. It was just a drapesing match, you know what I mean? And look, I didn't even know what was happening. All I know was, man was ducking. I literally made the bus by the skin of my teeth. I don't know. God was loving me that day, I swear to God. And literally, that was that. I just got on the bus and cut. And again, another situation I got myself into where I didn't read anything. And this is why I always, was wary of messing with people that knew people, because who the fuck did I know? Do you know what I mean? So again, well, you meet people later on in life, but regardless of that, that's just not my style. So, you know, for those people that have been damaged traumatically over bullying mentally and physically, like, you know, it's okay to speak up about it. If you're not over it, you know, it's okay to talk about it. That's the whole point of this video. That's the whole point of this series. It's okay to talk. Do you know what I mean? You have a voice. If something has been bothering you since school or the other day or whatever, just talk about it. Like, there's people out there that are suffering. And even if kids are watching this and they're going through the same thing, just talk to someone. It's as simple as that. Because at the end of the day, the last thing you want is for that to carry and be a burden for you for as long as you want. Do you know what I mean? Some things didn't leave me until I actually left and went to college. Hey, I didn't even go to my fucking prom. I didn't even go to my prom. Because the last thing I wanted to do was spend, you know, the last days with people who were trying to be nice to me after giving me some grief and some crap for the last, 2 years before we even left school. Fuck that, man. I don't rate that at all. Do you know what I mean? Of course, now it's all over and done with, and, you know, if I see certain people on the street and that, it's all love, it's all cool, yeah, cool, but let's be real, at that time, fuck that. I didn't want to go to prom. I just went and kicked football, man. A couple people were like, rah, calling me up on the house phone. But then I didn't have a mobile at that point. I got confiscated. But that's another story for another day. And they were like, rah, why don't you come, man? Come, man. Let's go prom, man. Just get your hair done. Back then I had cane rows. You know what I mean? Come on, let's go. I just wasn't feeling it. Because I was so insecure. The last few years, from year 9 all the way up to year 11, I just didn't want to be at school anymore. I couldn't take it. The amount of bullying that I suffered and shit. It wasn't every day I got an arse whooping, but it was some days I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. I remember one time, there's been a few times I stepped up to someone, but this one time stuck out for me the most. I remembered I was in drama class, and there was like 3 guys that got sent to my class. Funny enough, 2 of the guys I'm actually cool with to this day. The other guy I spoke to you about in a previous video, which is funny enough, the weed video. So they were all cool, and I remember they had my jumper in the back of my, what was it? I was on the back of my seat, and again, drama class, so this chair was like further up, and you know, me and a group were kind of like away from the chair, and they just sat in the corner because they were in isolation for some shit. And I remember and vividly reading my jumper, like taking a piss out of my initials, like you know, T. Willie or something like that, because I have a hyphen in my name. And I was like, whatever, man. You know what I mean? They just kept annoying me, antagonizing me every bit. And I was just getting angry and angry and angry. And I was just like, you know what, whatever. Drama teacher even said, you know what, just take your stuff and I'll let you cut 5-10 minutes early, man. That's cool. Because you don't have to suffer from these. These guys are idiots, etc., etc., etc. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I remember I just got my stuff. I just called the guy a dickhead, one of them anyways. And then I remember just leaving. And then as I left, I don't know where this come from in me, but literally, someone literally tapped me on the shoulder. I literally grabbed the shit out of, grabbed them, put them on the door. I said, do something. And I literally snapped. And when I snap, I don't see shit. And this is the thing. This is why I don't really like to fight. Or I even get mad too tough. Because sometimes when I snap, I don't see shit. I don't see anything. I just lose my temper, lose my focus. I just see red. Like, you're dead to me. You're dead to me. And I must have grabbed him up. I said, what the fuck are you going to do now, bro? Do something right now. And the guy, all he kept saying was, get off me, bro. Get off me, bro. So I shut the fuck up. And I remember the drama teacher come. And then his boys come, and I just dropped him, and I just cut. Funny enough, when I came back to school that Monday, nothing happened. Nothing happened, which I thought was actually amazing. I stood up for myself for once. So I was very proud of myself, because I said to myself, this shit could not continue anymore. I was sick and tired of being a fucking victim. This is what I say to you kids. Listen, you need to stand up for yourself. No, I don't condone or no violence and that. None of that shit. But you have to stand up for yourself. That's the only way you can let a bully know that you are not a mug. It's as simple as that. Yeah. So, you know, for me, again, like I said, I went through a lot of shit in school, and things unjustified. Some things, well, I put myself in a bad situation, but regardless, bullying is still wrong. It should really be sorted out. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, kids, you know, talk to your parents, talk to someone if you're going through it. Even as adults, I mean, even in workplaces, you get people that, you know, start rumors and start bullying from inside mentally. Like, that'll mess you up. Do you know what I mean? You have to stand up for yourself. This is why I hate bullies the most. It makes me sick to my stomach. But at the end of the day, you know, like I said, the whole point of this video is to let you guys know that it's okay to talk to someone. It's okay. You're not alone. There's many people like myself and other people in the world that have been through it. Even some bullies themselves have been bullied. And this is the only way they can get their frustrations out. It's as simple as that. But, guys, I hope you learned somewhat about me today and somewhat about coming out of your shell and actually speaking up. So, of course, guys, thanks again. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Please keep supporting it. Of course, share the content out. Of course, if any of my previous videos and more videos are able to help you and make you feel like, okay, I understand, you know what I mean, and make you feel a little bit confident, that's great. Because this is all I want to do, is just help people with my experience, talking about it, giving you some insight about myself. And I want you guys to think about it, paint a picture of yourself if you've been in a similar situation or going through a situation or know someone that's going through a situation. Then look, at the end of the day, everyone, especially in this society today, where a lot of us are kind of focusing on social media, not really paying attention to a lot of people, where some people need help, need some advice, and need a friend. Do you know what I mean? Listen, talk, open your eyes. Simple as that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Of course, follow Ryan Williams AFC in the description with the link. And I hope you guys have a good night. Peace.